Sunday school time. I hope you're ready. Okay, we have been studying about when Jesus died on the cross for us, right? The last couple of weeks, and then he rose again. He didn't stay dead, right? So we're going to talk about something else he did after he rose from the dead. He kept coming and seeing his disciples, his really good friends, right? So one of those disciples was named Peter, and he had done something kind of bad, but Jesus knew he was going to do it. So this is kind of the story of how Peter was able to be forgiven of his sins. So this is a really cool story. I really like it. So we're going to start. It's in the book of John. It's one of our Gospels. So it's in the Old Testament or New Testament? Yep, New Testament. Jesus is in here. So it is in New Testament. It's in John chapter 21 is what we're going to talk about. But first, I want to kind of go back a little bit to before Jesus died. There is what happened with Peter. So the night that Jesus was arrested, he had a supper, his last supper with his disciples. And he told Peter that he knew that Peter was going to deny Jesus 3 times. And Peter said, "Oh no, I'm not going to do that. I'm with you. I love you. I'm staying with you. I'm never going to leave you." But of course, later that night, it got kind of scary after Jesus was arrested, and they knew that Jesus was going to be killed. So that can be kind of scary, and you kind of think, "Oh, maybe I don't want to follow that. So I don't want to be arrested, and I don't want to be killed." So just like Jesus had said, Peter was out in the courtyards while Jesus was arrested. He was outside, and a girl came up and said, "Hey, I remember seeing you with Jesus. Weren't you with Jesus?" And Peter said, No, that wasn't me. Nope. Then a little while later, somebody else came and said, "Hey, I saw you with Jesus. You're one of his disciples." Peter said, Nope, don't know him, nope. So a third time, somebody asked, "Aren't you one of Jesus' disciples? I've seen you with Jesus." And Peter said, Nope. That time he got mad. He said, "No, I do not know that man. I don't know him. No, I've never been with him." And so, just like Jesus had told him, he realized right after that, that what he had done. He had left Jesus behind, and he denied him. So he was so sad, and he cried and cried after that because he knew what he had done. So fast forward to after Jesus has died, and when he rose from the dead 3 days later, Peter was probably still really sad about that. He was really upset that he had done that he denied Jesus, the one he loved so much and followed and was willing to follow. But let's see. So Peter was probably really sad, still sad about that. So he went fishing one night. He said, "I'm going fishing. Let's go." So some of the disciples went with him, and they went fishing. They fished all night long, but didn't catch anything. No fish. All night. So in the morning, they were in the boat, and they looked on shore, and they saw somebody standing there, but they didn't know who it was. So then that man on the shore called out and said, "Have you caught anything?" And they said, "Nope, not a thing." And so he said, "Well, throw your net on the other side of the boat." And so they did it. I said, "Okay, what can it hurt?" They did it. And they pulled up the net, and it was so heavy they could almost not even get it up there. There were so many fish in that net. And so one of the disciples looked over and realized that was Jesus on the shore. And so once they said that, Peter said, "What? That's Jesus." So he jumped out of the boat and swam to the beach. Isn't that funny? He was so excited to see Jesus. He wanted to go see him right then. He couldn't even wait for the boat to get to the beach. So he jumped out and swam to Jesus. And so they had breakfast on the beach. And it wasn't like our kind of breakfast, like biscuits and what else did we have? Bacon and cereal or Pop-Tarts. They had fish, grilled fish and bread. So not our kind of breakfast, but I bet they were hungry after fishing all night, right? So they got up there, and Jesus was grilling some fish for them. So they had breakfast with Jesus. So then Jesus started talking to Peter, and he said, let's see, what did he say? I've got to look at my notes again. So Jesus started asking Peter some questions. And do you remember how many times did Peter say he didn't know Jesus? How many? Wasn't just once, wasn't just twice, it was 3 times. So that's kind of our number of the day today. 3 times Peter denied Jesus. He said he didn't know him. So now that we're having breakfast on the beach, Jesus starts talking to Peter, and he asks Peter, Peter, do you love me? And Peter says, oh, yes, Lord, you know I love you. And so Jesus tells him, feed my lambs. So then right after that, Jesus asks Peter again, do you love me? Peter says, yes, Lord, yes, you know I love you. And so Jesus told him, take care of my sheep. So a third time, remember that 3? Third time, Jesus asked Peter, do you love me? Peter says, yes, Lord, I've told you, yes, you know I love you. And so Jesus told him to feed my sheep. So what do you think that means? To feed my sheep. Well, we are, as Christians and as children of God, we are the sheep of the pasture, of God's pasture. God is our shepherd. He takes care of us. So God is telling Peter to take care of God's people. And so, but you notice 3 times Peter had denied knowing Jesus. He said he didn't know him. And then 3 times Jesus asked Peter, do you love me? So that is kind of giving us an example of how Jesus will forgive us. Even though we've done something really, really bad, Jesus is still going to forgive us if we ask him to. And Jesus kind of put Peter back in those good graces and showed him that he could still be a follower of Christ, even though he did something really bad and said he didn't even know Jesus after all the time they'd spent together. So that is how good God is. He will forgive you no matter what. Now, it doesn't mean that you can just go out and do whatever you want to, even though you know what's wrong. You say, oh, I can do this because God's going to forgive me anyway. No, don't do that. Don't do that. We still need to make sure we're trying to live right. And if we do make mistakes, which we will, we're always going to make mistakes. God is always right there to help us get past that and to forgive us when we ask him and we tell him we're sorry. So even Peter, who denied even knowing Jesus 3 different times, not just once, 3 times, God forgave him. So I just hope you take that with you this week and remember that no matter what you've done, even if it was a long time ago, that when you're truly sorry and you ask God to forgive you, he's going to forgive you. And he still loves you no matter what you've done. You've still got God's love. So I will hope to see you soon and give you big, big, big hugs because I miss you so much. And I will see you soon. Bye.